Kenjaku is one of the main villains of Jujutsu Kaisen, and he has certainly played an incredible role in the series, right from the beginning. He is the mastermind who has set up the vast majority of major events in the story, such as the Shibuya incident and, more recently, even the Culling game arc. Kenjaku is extremely powerful. However, he is much more than just that. He is the smartest character in the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen, and his elaborate plans have gotten the series to where it is today. Surprisingly, however, Kenjaku is now facing his very own death and might just be killed in the upcoming chapters. That said, a character such as Kenjaku is very unpredictable and could end up surviving by switching bodies. If that is the case, Kenjaku could very well jump into a new body, and that could very well be the body of the strongest modern sorcerer, Gojo Satoru. Kenjaku has had many bodies over the years in Jujutsu Kaisen. Also, this is a character who has full knowledge of Sukuna and knows of his existence, and even after Sukuna's death, he is someone who has affected the age of Jujutsu sorcery in many ways. Kenjaku has taken many bodies as his host over the years. This includes the likes of Noritoshi Kamo, using the body of which he had committed grave sins. He has also taken control of Kaori Itadori's body and used her to give birth to none other than Yuji himself. He is a very sinister villain who has switched bodies at every opportunity that he has received. His last body switch that we know of was that of Suguru Geto. Kenjaku is essentially just a brain, and his cursed technique allows him to jump from one body to another. This ability gives him full control over the body of whoever he possesses. He is able to know every single thing about them, and at the same time, gain full control over their curse technique as well. After Suguru died in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Kenjaku took over his body and decided to make him his new host. This gave him access to Suguru's powers, and at the same time, every single memory of his as well. The vast majority of planning that Kenjaku did in Jujutsu Kaisen came from Suguru's body. According to him, this was the body that he needed to complete his plans, and the vast majority of them were pertaining to the merger. Kenjaku used Suguru's body to seal Gojo away, and then, using the very same body, he started the Culling game, granting cursed techniques to many players and, at the same time, bringing ancient sorcerers back in order to get humanity to evolve to the next stage. Kenjaku was expected to succeed in his goals and stand as one of the last antagonists in Jujutsu Kaisen. However, that was not to be. In Chapter 243, Kenjaku lost his body to Geto after he finished his fight against Takaba. This fight had been planned for many years, for quite a long time, while Kenjaku and Kashimo were fighting. The likes of Yuta were secretly planning his demise. Takaba did more than enough and kept Kenjaku engaged using his incredible cursed technique. He did more than enough to ensure that Kenjaku did not sense Yuta around him. The rest was up to Yuta as he snuck up on Kenjaku and used his incredible sword skills to slice his head right off. Even if Kenjaku wanted to react, Yuta was so strong that he simply couldn't. At this point, Kenjaku realized that he had messed up and, now, we had been defeated for good. Kenjaku is a truly wicked character who usually thinks things through quite a lot. He has plans up his sleeve, and fans have seen him pull things off that nobody ever expected would even be possible. However, things are very different right now. Kenjaku had his head chopped off in Chapter 243, and the way he talked looked like he was admitting defeat himself. This was rather strange coming from Kenjaku, given that not only did he admit to failing to fulfill his goals when he was so close to them, but he also openly mentioned that someone would come and inherit his will, which would then lead to his goals being fulfilled anyway. This is quite a damning statement by Kenjaku, and suggests that he might actually end up dying here. However, in the same chapter, fans do see Kenjaku trying to get away from Yuta. For what it's worth, he isn't dead yet, and in order for him to die, the brain needs to be exorcised properly. After Kenjaku is defeated and killed, we can truly rest assured that he will not return. However, until that happens, there is still a possibility that he might actually end up surviving and simply changing bodies once again. The fact is that Kenjaku could very well end up giving Yuta the slip. Kenjaku is a smart character and could likely have planned for an unfortunate accident that he might face. In that case, Kenjaku could end up using his trump card in the next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen to escape Yuta. Then, his goal would be to find the perfect host for himself once again, and this body could end up being the body of none other than Gojo. It is incredibly convenient that Gojo ended up dying moments before Kenjaku died as well. Kenjaku needed the body of Geto in order to complete his merger. However, now that isn't possible. While Kenjaku has failed in his goals, that doesn't mean he has to die. If he does manage to get to Gojo, then he will likely take over this body, and in that case, gain tremendous strength. It must also be remembered that Gojo could potentially return to the series very soon. This has been hinted at by the author himself on several occasions now, and this return could be in the form of a villain. Kenjaku has all the tools that he needs right in front of him, and all he needs to do is give you the slip and get to the body of Gojo. This task might be hard for him to pull off. However, if he succeeds in doing so, the body of the strongest modern sorcerer will be his, and then he could truly end up becoming the ultimate antagonist of Jujutsu Kaisen, standing in the path of every student that he trained. Of course, to see if this actually ends up happening. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.